Show the gut, the side. Look at that thing, man. Like, that, to me, looks like a PB. What do you think? That's going over 5. No, it's not 5, but holy crap. Dude. Damn right. That's a 4. Dude. 4 pounders right off the bat. Here we go. Oh my god. Dude. Good job, man. Look at that. I have big hands. That thing's huge. Girthy. That's triple C thick. I'm calling them today, boys.
What's going on, everybody? Who else I didn't say hi to yet? Chris, hey, Kevin, Steve. How's everybody doing tonight? Lizard, got my first solid bass today. I'm in Rhode Island. Awesome. Reggie, David, how's it going, everybody? Went back to the old stream setup there so we could bring back the intro because it's been a hot minute. I need to figure out a different way to utilize StreamYard so that we can keep that intro in there and use it more easily. Otherwise, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So I haven't been doing it lately. And I cannot get comfortable with microphone. Maybe like that. There we go. Great intro still. Thanks. Yeah, we got some new fresh catches we got to add in there. Make it all super sexy. Make it a little longer. Why not? What's going on, Jim and Chris? We have a lot to discuss tonight. But what's new? We always have a lot to discuss.
Oh, first, guess where I went for lunch today?
Did you go back to Sandwich?
I did.
So, funny story. This is actually a really funny story. So Saturday we go fishing and we were working on my boat a little bit and we had to fix a trailer fender and I call in food because we had my oldest son. He hadn't eaten lunch yet. So I go in, get my stuff, and I'm just like flipping through TikTok while I'm walking around. And like I see a thing about this food truck right here in town called Sandwich. And I'm like, I sent it to Andrew. I'm like, that looks good. He's like, why didn't you see that before we called in food elsewhere? So that's all I could think about. So what's today? Wednesday? Yeah. So yesterday, I go there for lunch.
You did?
Oh yeah. And I'm talking to the husband and wife that run it, and somehow fishing came up, and they're like, "Well, how'd you do?" I was like, "Oh, we did great. We did this and that." So I pull up my phone and I start going through pictures. I pull up a picture of Andrew first. She's like, "I was just talking to that guy yesterday. he's with the 603 Bass. Like that's him and his buddy." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me, the other guy."
The buddy.
And she's like, it was great. I went back again today.
Me too.
Yeah.
The peppercorn steak or whatever it was.
That's the only thing I haven't had yet.
Oh, dude.
So that's what my coworker Chris that we know. That's what he got on Tuesday, and he was like, "Yeah, no, that was good."
It's amazing.
I got the steak and cheese with the horseradish in it, and
I
onions.
almost got that.
Dude, get it. It's
okay.
phenomenal. It's really good. Hey, Gordy, Nick, Ryan, Erad, what's up? Oh, Smagbite finally. 13-inch bass and 6-inch bait. That's awesome.
Whoa.
Oh, right. Which one of you 6-3 fans is fishing in Millbury on Monday? I want to know who. Oh, yeah, Ferris. We're talking sandwiches.
Sandwich.
Anyway, so you got the peppercorn cheesesteak?
I think that's what it was.
And then what was the other one you got?
Same thing.
Oh,
I got it twice.
So,
I was going to get the other one, but I was like, nah, I really want that other again.
I think we're going to get that tomorrow. I got the first day yesterday. I got there. I forget the hell it's called. I keep forgetting it off the top of my head. But it's a steak and cheese with provolone. And then it's got their like house-made pickles, which are like zesty but kind of sweet still. Horseradish and
I think that's
caramelized
what Chris
onions.
got today.
And it was, dude.
And he got the tots, the chili cheese tots.
I should get those. That sounds really good.
I wish they're open right now. I'd go.
So,
See ya.
no, dude, like even if you took out everything and then just got their steak and cheese, that's seriously one of the best steak and cheeses I've had.
Oh yeah, easily.
It's like wicked good, not overly greasy, nice tender steak. It's good steak.
They need a store.
Today I got the pulled pork perfection. Pulled pork, homemade coleslaw, like pickled jalapenos, but like not like, store bought in a jar, like almost fresh, but lightly pickled.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, like the perfect ones. And what was it? A lot of provolone cheese and then some spicy barbecue aioli. Oh my god! All on a ciabatta roll. This is how we're starting the stream tonight. We're gonna make everybody hungry. Ferris, I may suck at fishing, but I know sandwiches.
It's in Milford, New Hampshire. Just Google it and you'll find it.
Yeah, no, phenomenal.
Sammich.
I think their website is Sammich NH, like Andrew just said. SAMMICHNH.com. They're actually on Instagram too. I posted them on my story yesterday. I should have posted it again today because that sandwich was incredible.
Dude, so good.
I'm gonna get that peppercorn steak tomorrow.
I might go get the tots. They look real good.
Was it cheese and chili on it?
Yeah. Dangerous, but
that sounds delicious.
And it's only $3, and you get like that much.
Yeah,
like a big thing of it.
Oh, dude, that's a hell of a deal. Jim just had to go for snacks. What is it? Hey, Kara, what's up? Kara, dude, I keep forgetting. I'm so sorry. I'm a terrible human being. Anyway, we have a lot to discuss tonight, but first and foremost, now it's been 5 minutes in. Let's roll into it. So, for those that shared the stream prior to us starting, thank you very much. You guys are rock stars. For anybody that hasn't been doing that yet, come on. Anything you guys do helps immensely, especially with the shares. So for those that are doing it, thank you. I try and get to every single post when I see it. If I miss it, I apologize. If you just post it to your stories on Instagram, you don't tag me directly. All I can see is that the post was shared, but I can't see who by, so I can't, I would love to be able to circle back and say thank you to everybody that does it. But unless you don't tag me, I don't know. So just food for thought. You don't have to, by any means. Just literally sharing it is good enough. But if you want me to see it, you got to tag me, or else that's the only thing that kind of sucks about Instagram shares is I have no idea of knowing who did it. I just see that it happened. Jerry, this is turning into food channel. Yeah, we do like our food. Aside from that, channel memberships, I think we're up to 7 members now, which is friggin' awesome. So for those that are curious, if you go onto our channel and you go to the memberships, either tab or slide, I forget what you want to call it. Depends upon if you're looking at it on your phone or your computer. From there, you can sign up to monthly memberships. It's a little bit of money on your end, but a lot of reward from us on our end. It's just another way to help support the channel and get a little bit more back from you guys that nobody else can get. One thing I have not done yet that I've been slacking on is member-only posts on the channel, and I've got some stuff lined up. So I'm going to make sure that happens. Beyond that, for those that are here, if you haven't yet, please drop a like on the stream. That helps. If you're watching this after it's gone live, leaving comments also helps. It's all playing that algorithm game. And then, more importantly, if you are subscribed.
Easy. The button looks like this.
Exactly. If you are following us, if you're already subscribed to us here, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, turn post notifications on. YouTube is pretty consistent. I'll do the best I can. There will be a new regular fishing video up Friday, and then probably Monday and Friday next week, and I think we'll be able to keep it going from there. But of course, every Wednesday night anyway, and then we'll post shorts and stuff here and there. If you don't have Instagram, it's the same reels we post on Instagram that end up on YouTube that can't become a full video. So there's that. There was one other thing I wanted to mention, and I forgot. Because I suck.
Fishing.
Lot to talk. Lot to talk about. Good stuff. South Jersey. What up? Had an all right day today. Caught a few small largemouth and small snakehead. Very nice, sir. Robbie!
Did you kill it?
Best time of the year is here. I keep seeing that comment from one of my friends, and I can tell he's just kind of being cheeky, but at the same time he says this so much that I'm like, what are you doing, buddy? So I saw him post on somebody else's comment again. Yeah, but did you win? Because they boxed their fish for the day. And I had the SpongeBob meme fired up. But did you win? And I was gonna write. I'm like, nah, that'll just get people all butthurt.
Yeah.
He would have laughed though. I know he would have appreciated it. Oh yeah,
plenty
Ben.
of people out there that won't though.
Ben. We got something special. We're going to make this happen. It's not the only thing.
Hey, Ryan's a member now.
I'm getting there.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
We also got some free swag to give away. Well, wait, no, not quite free. Raffle. Sorry. Maybe we'll do something special. Depending on how the raffles go, we may hook you guys up. Ryan, thank you very much, buddy. Greatly appreciate you becoming a member on the channel. That is awesome. What do you think? Start a giveaway right now?
Yeah.
Raffle?
Yeah.
T-shirt?
Yeah.
T-shirt. Okay, here's what we're going to do. 8:12. We'll give everybody 8 minutes because it's kind of early, and I'll put a comment there, and I'll pin it.
Random number generator.
Yep, so we're doing the free shirt. So here's the thing. I have multiple sizes of both the gray with the color logo, and then Andrew wait, oh man, this is all twisted. There we go. We're good. And then show off your hoodie there, buddy. And then we also have a black t-shirt with the white logo. And I've got them in like pretty much any size you can imagine. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to raffle it off. $2 an entry. PayPal or Venmo. Just make sure you put t-shirt raffle or something. T-shirt raffle. I don't care. I'll figure it out. And I'm going to start entering these things in now until 8:20. You guys have 7 minutes. And then we'll go through and I'll go ahead and we're going to randomize it, right? I forget how we're going to do that.
I don't know.
Oh, right. No, I know how to do this. I figured this out, how to do it in Excel. I can put numbers to everybody. I can randomize that, and then I'll pick a random number generator, and then plow.
One between one and however many people there are. And then
Correct. So the one time we generate that random number, it's going to go right to a winner.
Perfect. Waffle.
Waffle. Yes. Yeah, we're not allowed to say raffle. We get in trouble.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's the thing with Facebook and everything. Like, raffles are a form of gambling. So everybody calls it waffles. And
okay, so we're raffling.
So that's what we're going to do now is t-shirt. So you have, again, $2 per entry. And we'll make that happen. And, all proceeds go towards us supporting the channel, which is always hugely helpful. And then later we'll do the Mega Bass Vision 110 Junior that we got courtesy of our buddy David. Any Bass Addict, we'll go there. All right, so we're going to go PayPal. All of that is in the video description, but we'll do it like this. Hang on. My microphone's in the way. Oh, hang on. Wait, disregard. There's a smarter way to do this. Waffles are open now until... Heh. You can talk while I type.
I kind of like you typing. You guys definitely want to stick around for this one. Or I'm taking it this weekend if nobody wants it. This thing would get absolutely smoked. I'm actually really excited. I'm probably actually going to buy one of these. Have you used one of these, the 110?
I have one almost identical to that.
Junior?
Oh, yeah. It's great. I'm having a real hard time typing. I'm sorry. Oh, look at that. I tagged my own name. Well, you guys get the gist of it. Weird. ASMR. Okay, there you go. So, oh, good. Okay, when it pinned it, it kind of removed the formatting, I think. Oh, God, I hope that worked. Anyway, you get the gist of it.
There it is.
Oh, Jesus, here it comes. I need another notepad. That's what I got to do.
I thought Arizona was increasing to 129. No, it was 99 cents. It's a great buy.
They're still at it. Even the great inflation has not hit our precious Arizona iced tea. There you go, David. Andrew, I have more. I'll bring extras for you guys next time we go out. What are you doing Sunday there, Super Chief? Want to go for a long ride?
Ooh. Hey, yeah. David, you should come with us.
You should. Real long ride, long day. Ah, Jesus Christ. Okay. Thank you, Chad. I am an ugly bastard. Okay, we have... I don't know. What else can we talk about for the next 4 minutes while these go through?
Sandwich.
Oh, we can start on the weekend fishing report.
Weekend fishing report.
Yeah, buddy.
Which I'm sure you guys all have seen and want to know about. We went up to Vermont, where we usually go. And it panned out pretty well. It was a grind. Don't let the pictures fool you. It was a grind. He got, what'd you get, 5 fish?
I did.
And I only got...
Oh, my wife is the best ever. Thank you.
Excuse me?
I made sure she came down and brought us some dope oatmeal peanut butter cookies.
What else is in here? Thank you. Why?
Andrew was talking about fishing and...
No, food came in the... Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What were we here to do again? Talk about food, right? Ben?
This is a food show. These are really freaking good.
I forget what it is. It's just oatmeal and like peanut butter chips and something else. It's pretty good. I think there's a little crack in
What the hell
there.
are peanut butter chips?
Come on.
I see what you're saying.
Raffle losing off. Big
$100
sale.
$100. What the hell was I talking about?
Saturday. It was a grind. I only caught 5.
Yeah, 5. I got 2.
Wait, Saturday? No, that was Sunday.
What was Saturday?
Saturday.
We took Jacob. Not Jacob.
Try again.
Jared.
There it is.
Well, you never name your kids with the same first letter.
I know. It's I refer to him as Big Turd and Little Turd.
Okay. I like that. We went... Okay, so Saturday... Did I work Saturday? No, I had Saturday off.
Because everybody went to the race.
Everybody went to Supercross. And I didn't go. Because I want to go fishing. So, we met up. And we went to somewhere local. Which is not known for bigs.
No, I've been fishing there since 1994. And the whole reason we go here is for, like, numbers. That's it. There's a reason why we do this.
Literally numbers. Like, we want to go there. We'll catch 20, 30, like, 2-pounders, maybe get a 3 if we're lucky.
If we're really lucky.
Really lucky.
By the way, we're not being misleading. Like, we're... At this point, I think you guys should... Like, if we don't want to be very direct on things, we say that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not, like, trying to downplay anything or mislead. This is... I mean... As it's been since day one, 100% accurate and very serious.
Mm-hmm. There are
Sean liars.
There are a million small bass in this place. We've literally had the conversation. I don't even know, probably for the last like 5 or 6 years that we're like, we should just go there and take like 200 bass out of there and bring them somewhere else because there's too many.
Yeah, seriously.
And they're all small. We go there. We start working up super shallow in the grass. He's throwing all sorts of different big, like swim baits and stuff. And got me distracted. I was throwing chatterbait for a little while, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna toss a jig in this grass. So I take a jig, I toss it up. I fucking bombed that thing, and we're in probably 3 to 4 feet of water, and I'm just ripping this jig through the grass, like literally ripping it, letting it pause, letting it settle down, and then ripping it again just to get it through because it's all super thick milfoil. And I felt a small bite, and I set the hook, and it felt like it was coming in pretty easy. And we saw it, we looked at it, and it looked like a 3-pound. We're like, oh, sick, that's a good fish. And then it turned, and it started ripping drag, and I was like looking at my reel, like, did I not tighten the drag down on this thing? And it ended up coming up and being 5 3/4, 5.75.
Yeah, 5.76. It was 5.75, 5.76, 5.75, 5.76. It just kept bouncing.
I take the low. And then later on in the day, we were working another rock pile, and he ended up hooking into a giant. When he set the hook, and the rod didn't move for like a good 3 seconds. I just put my rod down and grabbed the net. I was like, I clicked the button on my bait caster, put my rod down, grabbed the net, and I just waited. I was like, which side, which side, which side? He's like, this side. And I come over, gets in the net. I'm like, holy shit. 2 giants out of this one small pond in one day. I don't think that'll ever happen again for us there.
No. It's funny because our buddy Nate messaged me today. He's like, "Hey man, don't want to step on toes." Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, do you mind if I go there? I was like, dude, I don't care. Like if I'm with my friends, if I tell you a place that we have fished, I don't care if you go. I really don't. if I don't want anybody to go to a specific lake, I just won't tell anybody.
And if there's a spot that somebody else gave us, we're gonna tell them no. I'm sorry, it's our buddy's spot. Or like,
well, in those cases, we don't even.
But he knows him too, so it'd be like you just ask him.
Right.
I'm not going to give you permission to go to someone else's spot.
Yeah.
But that was insane. I still can't believe the last 5-pounder I caught out of that place.
I think that was 2015.
2015?
I think it was. Between 2015, either 15 or 16. But it was that long ago, dude. It's been a while.
I had it was a 503, I remember it.
Hey Panda, thanks for stopping in, buddy.
That was crazy.
Hopefully works good. Raffle is closed, by the way, unless Alec can get in one real quick here while I'm trying to start populate this Excel sheet.
So, did we get any, like, we got a couple others, but it wasn't crazy. We didn't get a lot. Honestly, Saturday was a blur because Sunday was so great.
Seriously. Saturday.
Oh, I got the smallie too. And then
well, we had 6 because there was 3 of us. It was you, me, and my son. So we had 6 in the box. I think we caught like 7 or 8 total. Like that was it.
Yeah.
It was
slow,
but
good for catching like 20, 30 fish easily. I don't know. It was crazy. And then Sunday came up at 2:30. Leave his house by 3:30 ish.
Yeah, and
Quarter
then
four?
just wild shit on the way through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we leave his house, and literally right down the road here there's like a strip of like a factories and a bunch of stuff. And we come up around the turn. There's a fire truck and a police officer from the next town over, blocking the road. So we pull up. He flashes us over with his flashlight, and he's like, "Road's closed. You gotta turn around." And we had the boat, so the next road up was like 100 feet up the road. We're like, "Can we just use that intersection and turn around?" He's like, "Yeah. Don't go any further. I'll shoot you."
I said, do you mind if I go up the next intersection? And he like takes a step back, looks. He's like, and I was like, "I promise I'm not going to drive right by."
3:30 in the morning. Just let's do it.
Right. And I'm like, "I promise I'm not going to drive by." And he's like, "If you do, I'll shoot you." And we laughed our asses off because we thought he was joking.
Yeah, I don't think he was joking.
No, cue the text from the wife later on in the day saying, find out it was an active shooter situation. So by the time we got all the way around, you can see cops circling this entire property. And I said that when we drove by. I was like, dude, that almost seems like an active shooter situation kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we just went on our
Like
way
we didn't
fishing.
see any like there was no like car accident or anything like that. So we came down the highway, which actually literally like we had to go 4 miles to go 1,000 feet. We had to go back out around town and then end up 1,000 feet from where the cop was. So we got through all that, a million cops everywhere. We get up to Vermont and go to the first spot. Met our buddy Sean up there. He was on one within, 2-3 minutes?
If that.
Yeah, like as soon as he got up there, he was on one. And so we moved up to where he was, and we started working this big flat all together. We were in 3 to 4 feet. We started seeing just giant bass everywhere, just down in the grass. And we could not get them to bite for some. Like, they would not bite unless you, like, almost hit them in the face. I had that big explosion. I started throwing my depths.
That was insane.
My depths 250 up there. I was terrified that a pike was going to come and steal that thing from me. But I bombed my depths, and I think I got maybe 5 or 6 cranks on it. And the biggest explosion on a bait I've ever seen. That thing must have been only maybe 6 inches below the surface, but this fish came up and just completely missed. We don't even know what it was. We think it was just a giant bass. It was either a giant bass or a big pike. But that missed that. And then I had one more follower that had to have been 5+. came right up to the boat, and it bit the rear treble on the depths. I just sat there and watched it. He's like, if you would have set that hook, you probably would have caught that fish.
Yeah, it was that close.
I was just sitting there watching it, followed it up, and it followed it up. It was like right on it the whole time, and I just stopped it for a second, and it came up and just went, boop, and then spit it out and took off. God damn it. And then he hooked into, you were throwing a jackhammer, and you hooked into
5.48.
5.48. And then you ended up getting 4 more?
Yeah, I only got 5 total on the day. Where the hell is...
And I hadn't gotten a bite yet, besides that one follow when it bit the treble. I didn't even... It was whatever. We ended up working out deeper, and we were in about... Sitting in probably 40 feet of water, but casting up into 25-ish. And I was determined to catch a fish on a jig. And I said, was it 45 seconds?
It was 45 seconds. I already looked at all the footage.
Yeah. I was like, the jig should be getting bit right now. And 45 seconds, was it the same cast?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah, it was still in the same cast.
Okay, so 45 seconds later, I just lift up, and it just feels heavy. And if you guys ever fish deep, you feel heavy, and it just feels like it's stuck in the grass, but it keeps coming up, and you're like, what the hell is this? And I said, whatever. Fuck it. I'm just going to set the hook. So I set the hook, and I thought I had bottom for like a half a second, and then I just felt, whoom. I'm like, oh, yeah. Dude, that thing.
I thought he had an 8 when it came up.
Yeah,
it was
me
still
too.
big fish, 6.52, but yeah, that was... I watched it back, and your hook set was just like mine, where he has a 7.3 heavy fast rod with straight 15-pound 4.0, and he just, and the rod didn't come up any further, and he's just like, yup.
That was sick. That was so cool. That thing, you could see it down like 15 feet, and you see the flash, and I'm like, oh no.
That was a big fish.
Oh, that was awesome.
So did you talk about the fish I missed? I was like deep in the zone. I got the whole list randomized and everything.
I did not.
Okay. So, but you did talk about the 5 you missed, the
Yes.
easy 5+.
Yeah.
Was mine right after that?
It was,
It was before or after?
I think it was like maybe like a half hour after that.
Okay. So, working in the same area. And Oslo's fishing was a naked jackhammer with the Beast Coast Miyagi trailer. I've talked about this before. It works great. And I just, working it through the same areas, we were seeing all these big fish. And the place is gin clear. And there's one area where it's shallow and then deeper water, so kind of working that breaking edge. And I saw my bait. I'm watching it come back from like 10 feet from the boat. And all of a sudden, I
didn't even see it.
Oh, I did. Clear as day. I'm looking and I'm watching my bait for probably a good like 3 or 4 feet. And then I saw one of the biggest fish in my life come up and like not bomb at it, but like at a steady pace, just and bite the tail and miss the hook. And I'm like, oh, go as I'm going to swing, like just as I'm starting to turn the rod, she just and swim away.
Yeah, you put the rod down, sat down.
Yeah, good for like 5 minutes. That hurt. But then I found out my other buddy. Yeah. I like my brain could not compute because I saw it clear as day, 5 feet from the boat, gin clear water, and it was only like 2 feet below the surface. I got a damn good look at this fish. That's okay because there's always our second chance. So there's that for 1 and 2. What is naked jackhammer? Yeah, Chad. So I people are probably gonna be think I'm crazy when I do this, but I took a jackhammer. I just cut the skirt off. Because I didn't want the extra volume of the skirt to go with such a big swim bait. Like it's a pretty big profile in and of itself as it is. So I just want the action of the jackhammer without the added bulk of the skirt. So yeah. And then like I know a few other people that were up there did really well. I'm not going to give any more details than that. But everybody else we talked to, because like after that, the bite died at like 9:30.
Yeah, it pretty much shut off.
Yeah. And we talked to other people and they were like, yeah, man, like same deal. We got a couple of bigs and then it's just been like absurdly slow the rest of the day. So that's our weekend fishing report. It was
We saw
good.
so many fish over 5 pounds. So many.
I would honest to God put the number close to 20 fish. And
Over 5. Easily.
over 5. When we saw a handful that were like And I'm like, Andrew, come.
Bigs.
And he tiptoes up to the front. He's, oh, I told you.
That big one that you had right next to the boat and you were ripping your freaking jig back in, and I just had my 250. I was like, slap right on top of it, and it just fucks right off.
I'm like, no, what are you doing? You're like, oh yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, you had a jig, my bad.
So anyway, that was a very long weekend fishing report. I get another text here from Chad, one of our other viewers, my buddy. He asked, deep or shallow? I'm going to assume he's asking where we caught the fish, and I will say both. Because we legitimately caught them both in wildly different areas.
3 feet with lots of grass and
25 feet with nothing but rocks. So it's important that we circle back to the thing we say literally every week. This time of the year, you have to cover a lot of varied water. And like, you know, dude, if you're on them and they're biting, then obviously you're not going to leave. But if something dies, and this is really like what's kind of driving the discussion we're going to have tonight, you have to be able to make those adjustments to try and make the most out of what you can get from the day. And it's just a lot of input and processing it and trying to understand it and making the most of it. So that's what we're going to break into tonight. But before we go any further, I got the whole randomized list down. There was a total. Oh no, where'd you go? I minimized it. That was not smart. Is that? Where is it?
I don't know.
Oh no. Where's Excel?
Ruh-roh.
What did you do? Where's my mouse?
Can you
There
see
is.
it on the other one?
No, I minimized it. Got it. Okay. So everybody that did throw in on the raffle, thank you very much. We had a total of 24 raffles. Well, it was 25 lines, but line one became a column. So there was 24 entries. Everybody's already been randomized. I will do. Come on, phone random. I really should just have this like.
What the hell is that number next to it?
Okay, my phone.
0.468899.
That's the only way you can easily randomize a list.
Oh, okay.
So you like. It doesn't matter.
Anyway.
All right, so I said 24 entries. Right now, my phone says 3 for the number. That is not the winner. I'm going to enter 1 through 24. I'm going to show everybody.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, can you just click and drag that a little bit that way, please? Thank you, sir.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, no. Come on. What is this? Just double click right. There you go.
And then
Just grab the edge. Yeah, like that. And then do the same thing with the YouTube window a little bit. Okay. I swear to God, we know what we're doing. 3. I know I can't really get it in focus. Just got to deal with it. But it's 1 out of 24.
4.
I can't.
It's there.
Whatever.
69. Pick 69.
Are you freaking kidding me?
2.
Okay. Well,
Number 2 won.
2. Hang on.
I'm not even going to touch this mouse. I'm bad at these things.
What is technology? Oh, where'd you put it?
It's behind. Yeah,
I got it. Yeah, come on, get over here. All right, so number deuce, because it's all randomized. Mark! Congratulations, sir. You have won a t-shirt.
What the hell does it say number?
Right there. Deuce.
Oh, okay. Congratulations, Mark.
Congratulations, Mark.
What size do you want?
Size and color. Let me know, sir. Boo, Mark. Were you saying boo earns or burns?
Burns.
T-shirt. Just making notes.
Rigged.
Okay, buddy. You just let me know. Extra small pink.
Gotcha.
That was like last week when we had Joe and friggin' Mike on, and Oliver and Riley were writing in the chat. They're like, Joe, what do you want for dinner? Because he wasn't answering his phone. I typed in the chat, large salad, extra cucumbers.
Roast cucumbers.
Tube top. We can get you tube top. Bob, Kevin in a kayak tourney, does your kayak have some kind of live well? I'm assuming if he's doing kayak tournaments, it's because they're doing marking them. Jesus Christ, measuring them. Measure and release.
Extra small wouldn't cover my face.
All right, we got a question from Reggie, and then we're gonna roll into doing covering topics. I just want to nuke all this, but I'm gonna leave it open because that's gonna come in handy later. I need to. Yeah, whatever. I'll figure it out. Okay, so we had a question from Reggie. Quick question. Me and my mother like to go fishing at her place, Lake Winnisquam. She uses a live worm. I've tried everything. It can't get anything to bite. She catches smallmouth all day long. That's really hard to answer because a lot of that's going to depend on time of the year and what you're looking at for water temps. So just quick question. What time of the year are you talking about? Like all year? Or is there a specific window where that's happening? Because it's very likely a lot of those fish you're catching is probably during the spawn period or immediate pre and post spawn, which is by far some of the easiest times to fish, with narrow exceptions on either end of the spawn.
Year round.
There's some pre-spawn windows that just suck.
Yeah.
And same with post-spawn. So I'm curious, Reggie. We need a little bit more info for you.
I said year round.
Year round. Wait, sorry. Year round. All right.
That's a lot.
I gotta unpin that. Yeah.
There's a lot. Start from stream number 1.
Let me try and think about this. Like, the thing is, like, now we're at a point where we break down our season by like every 3 to 5 degree window. And then also by lake type and specific, are we largies or smallies? So it's hard to kind of condense all that into a very broad kind of input for you based on what you have there. Winnisquam has both largemouth and smallmouth. There's good numbers of both. I would say, I mean, honestly, 6 one, half a dozen another as to which one you can catch more of. I've seen guys go out there and absolutely hammer largemouth all year round, and then guys that stick strictly to smallmouth. I can tell you that post-spawn, I've talked to pretty much anybody I've ever talked to that fishes that lake. It says it's one of the hardest lakes in the state to fish post-spawn. No idea why. That's just the same thing everybody tells me. I've only fished up there like 2 times in my entire life post-spawn.
Winnisquam?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been up there 2 or 3 times with you, and every time I go up there, it's either pre-spawn or during the spawn.
Yeah, and I think the last 2 times I went was during the spawn. One to take a friend that had never bedfished, so everybody's going to experience that once in their life. And the other time was just to do some underwater filming on cool. Beds with the drop shot with the come on there, Magic Flick bait from Beast Coast Fishing.
That was a while ago. That was with Josh.
Yeah, that was like 5 years ago. That's how long it's been since we've been there.
God.
Yeah, it's been a day.
Jeez.
So, Wacky Rig Senko. Smallmouth will love it. Largemouth will love it. Doesn't matter where you throw it, you're going to catch fish. You can fish under docks. You can fish around grass. You can fish like just straight up open water. Pick more natural colors. I think it's called baby bass. Like, that's a great color. You could get something a little chartreuse in it if you want to get a little wild. And that kind of gets the smallmouth fired up a little bit more. Ned rig with, we'll say, like a 1/8 ounce head, upwards of a 1/4 ounce head. Ned rigs, I find, tend to do better with a lighter head. That's not always, but for the most part. So a Ned rig is just a little mushroom style head with a really light finesse hook. And typically is fished with Z-Man is the brand, the TRDs. And it looks like a little mini Senko, but it's a high, like, buoyancy style bait that when it falls and it hits the bottom, it's going to stand straight up. Smallmouth love it, largemouth love it. All doesn't matter what conditions, what time of the year, what water temperature, you can find fish on a Ned rig. If you fish those 2 things, you're going to catch fish. I can promise you that. Stick up there, like, just do natural colors. Any sort of green pumpkins with black flakes, anything a little bit lighter. Again, you could throw on something a little bit of chartreuse. I can't remember what color it is for the Z-Man TRDs.
Clear, isn't it?
Yes, very, very clear.
Yeah.
And then you'll be golden, man. You'll catch them, but that's like a very broad overview answer for you for something that's kind of really hard to break down into like 3 minutes. Copper tooth. There you go. Thank you, little Tommy. Ben Bradley said, just for smallies, if I could only use one bait for the rest of my life, 4-inch tube jig for any condition. I just change colors based on water temp and clarity. I'd almost agree with you, but I do better with a spider jig, so that's what I would take. Or hot snakes. There we go. Jasper. All right, last question, then we're gonna get into some of these topics, and then hopefully you guys will keep rifling off more questions from that point. But Jasper, hey guys, any tips for bodies of water where structure all looks the same? Like man-made lakes are basically just big bathtubs. And go.
Sorry.
Right on them.
I'm just staring off into space right now. Hold on 1 second. Let me read that again. Any tips for bodies of water where structure all looks the same? Oh, it's
loaded.
Depending on how big the body of water is. We'll say like a normal sized lake around here, maybe 200 to 300 acres.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty accurate number.
I'd probably go look for humps out in open water, or work the flats.
Thank you, Carla, for the donation.
Mom,
Mucho appreciated.
Hell, you don't need to do that.
You're the best.
That's hard to answer.
It is, because we need more information to be able to go from like it's too broad, and like it's both a blessing.
A big sand bowl.
Yeah, or is it like a kettle pond where it's like mucky bottom and like it's like 6 inches of spongy weeds covering the whole damn thing?
Right.
Any bass addicts?
Difference.
David, swim baits. Yeah.
Yeah, swim baits, jerk baits. Fine contour lines, like real tight contour lines.
Yep.
Try and find any spot on there that looks just a bit different than the rest. And just work everything you got.
Yep.
Really. Those places can be super tough.
Senko's really, I mean, that's the thing I'm always going to put in a beginning angler's hand. Texas rig worms too, like a 4-inch Texas rig worm or Texas rig lizard with just like a 1/4 ounce bullet weight. Like, dude, that is one of the most universal things you could do. And especially if you're fishing vegetation, like a wacky rig Senko, you're just going to get pissed off all day long. But just Texas rigged worm or lizard, like it's just from Zoom, and you're golden, man. Like that doesn't get any easier either. Other than like wacky rig, you just bomb it, let it fall, watch your line, because you're going to see like steady ripples coming from it as the line's going, and then it'll just stop because it's hit the bottom, or you see a violent shudder through the whole line, and that you got bit, set the hook.
And then it'll start moving.
Yeah.
It's the best sight in the world.
It really is. And then Texas rig, you just bomb it out, let it hit the bottom, real light, slow lift, follow it back down to the bottom. And I'm not like, don't lift it up 10 feet, just lift it up like a foot to 2, drop it down, reel in your slack. Don't move the bait, just reel out the slack, wait a couple of seconds, repeat. Like, it doesn't get any easier than that. Those 2 things, you can cover a lot of stuff.
I mean, any bass addict pretty much nailed it on that lake question.
It's all the same. And little to no cover, I would just start with search baits, and once you get bit, just work that area. If you don't get bit, pack up and go to the next lake. Yeah, spot on.
That's pretty much what we do. We've moved lakes
a lot.
Like, in the middle of the day, or just be like, all right, this isn't working, let's go somewhere else. Like,
yeah, that's just how it goes some days.
Yep. It's not a tournament. You have to stay on the same lake for 8 hours.
Yeah.
You can move around.
Oh, we get a lot of questions. We haven't even gotten to the adjustments yet. It's been 45 minutes in. All right, real quick. We'll just keep it going. We're going to make this work. Josh, any tips for fishing smallies this weekend in a clear, deep lake? Go.
Jigs.
And
Jerkbaits.
There it is. Thank you very much, sir. Spot on. Ned rigs too. And spider jig. It really, dude, like, it depends on water temp.
You're gonna have to work from pretty much the shore to, I'd say, anywhere from 25, 30 feet.
Yeah. If your water temps are still like 45 to like 48, deeper jerk baits, blade baits, Ned rig. I mean, both different kinds of jerk baits. A regular like 5 to 6 footer, one that like a 110+2 from Megabass. Ned rigs, spider jig, maybe a tube. Damiki rig, if that's a thing that you feel comfortable with. But regardless, get towards the mainland points. They're not, for the most part. you're better off and more likely to find success getting closer to mainland points than you are fishing out in like the middle of nowhere deep water. They know that the water's warming. They're trending towards spawning flats. Even if they're nowhere near them, they're still headed in that direction. And mainland structure is going to be far more productive than just fishing out in the middle of absolutely nothing way offshore. They're not that far out there right now. Move in towards mainland points. You'll be good. Holy crap. You're very welcome, Jasper.
Jeez.
A Midwest fisherman. Do you guys think it makes any sense to fish an A-rig in a pond where the forage-based pan is panfish and there's no shad or shiners? Oh, yeah, dude, doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Because
those fish are still schooling up.
Yep, especially perch. Oh, my God. If
you ever had a school of perch chase your bait in, it looks just like an A-rig.
Oh, yeah,
They're just all in a ball chasing after your shit. And there's usually like a couple stragglers behind, so if you have an A-rig that's got that little trailer behind there,
oh yeah,
you're gonna get smoked eventually.
I
saw Jasper had a question about being in Florida. Jasper,
he just got down there.
If you have any questions about fishing in Florida, 2 comments down, Jerry lives in Florida, fishes with Roland Martin. He is loaded with information about fishing Florida.
Yes, he is. Should we call it Jake Clearwater right now? Fish mop Jake Blacker. Oh, that's a good question. All right, I will answer that one in 1 second, Chad. I like Jerry's comment though. Handsaw, parachute cord, and a few cement blocks, and no more sand bowl. This is true.
There you go.
Oh, Andrew, what fishing sunglasses do you guys like? Brand, Sunny, Overcast. I'll take this one first. I use sunglasses, like, period. Because if I'm going to be shallow at any point, I just like to have them on so I can see if there's a rock I'm going to slam into, especially if it's an area that, like, I know that very likely could happen. I mean, we've been out on, like, those deeply overcast days, and I'm still wearing sunglasses. People are like, why are you doing that? Like, I can still see through the water, and you never know. Like, some days you can still see bass chase your bait up to the boat. You would never see that if you weren't wearing polarized sunglasses. Mm-hmm. That said, for brands, I was using Amphibia eye gear for years up until a couple months ago. Then we actually got approached by Toro Eyewear, and I've been using those for the last month.
About the last month, yeah.
Those are friggin' phenomenal. I have the field models, and we're actually doing a thing with them on Instagram here, probably in the next couple of days, that you guys can get some free sunglasses too. I've been keeping my eye on another company, Waterland, which is Ben Milliken's kind of. I think he's part owner on it. They have some really good looking sunglasses.
Oh, nice.
Yep, keeping an eye on that. Other than that, you have on your head Oakley Prisms.
Yeah, these are the.
It says it on the lens.
These are the Holbrook XLs. These are like the only thing I wear really. The Holbrook XLs with the prism polarized lenses. These are the deep water prism polarized. I believe that's what they are. But I like them. I get a discount at work for with Oakley, so it works out for me. I don't have to pay $300 for these.
Yep. All right, last question, then we're gonna dive into this a little bit because we're 50 minutes in. From my buddy Chad, what color jig in Clearwater right now? Finesse or mop jig? Black and blue? Green pumpkin? I'll go first again.
What was this question? Sorry.
What kind? So it's weird. When it comes to really cold water, water clarity kind of goes out the window for color combination. I've caught like big smallmouth on just pure black presentations in a variety of sizes in 40-degree water. Doesn't make any sense, right? Because convention tells you if it's gin clear water, you go with natural color presentations. Not always the case.
I mean, my PB 528 came out of almost 60 feet of water with a straight black jig.
And it was very finesse. And then your previous PB was also on... Wait, no, was that on that 5-inch swim bait? No, you were...
No, I got a 4. It was like a 4.5 on the 5-inch swim bait.
That's right, yeah. What the hell was it? It was the Megabass, what?
No, it wasn't Megabass. It was the Spark Shad. The 5-inch Spark Shad.
Who the hell makes that?
Spark Shad. I have no idea.
No, Megabass makes the Spark Shad. Yeah.
Megabass?
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Okay, no, it's all good. And then your other 5 was just on a small, all-black bait.
Mm-hmm.
Your 6.5 this weekend was on a black... Wait, was that the...
It was...
Dirtbag, right? So black and brown?
It was open water sniper and dirtbag
So black and brown
with the black
trailer. Just say trailer.
Yes,
You
trailer.
don't need to tell anybody else. Just
Black
a black trailer in gin clear water that you can see down 20 feet.
Easily, yeah.
It's when it comes to cold water, we do a lot better, much more consistent with all darker colors, or the thing we found the other day too was contrasting colors. Black and blue jig, a really dark green pumpkin trailer.
I've always contrasted my sometimes it's good to have one solid color for your jig, but I found over time that having contrasting colors, like having a green pumpkin trailer with a black and blue jig, that sometimes that is the ticket to get the fish to bite.
Oh yeah.
I do it all the time, like almost all the time.
I've been doing it a lot more the last 2 years, like especially like when you get into post spawn and now you're talking like water's getting closer to 70, you start mixing orange in. Like you at a certain point when you get close, like pre-spawn, you can go just like kind of all natural, like, you know, your dark greens and browns and blacks, like, you know, your mix of colors on jigs and stuff, and it works killer. And then sometime after that, as you get closer to midsummer, like definitely post spawn, throwing in a ton of orange makes all the difference in the world.
It's like you can go straight green pumpkin and not get bit. You go put if you get the dye, the orange dye, just dye the tips of the trailer.
Yep.
It's almost lights out. It's
Those
like they turn right onto it.
Yep, because the crawfish are going to start molting, so they're changing colors the whole 9 yards. It's crazy. So that's your last question answered. We got to get into this because we're almost an hour in. We haven't even touched this. So the thing, and this is, I mean, really, this has been good because everything we've talked about to this point really is in the scope of the topic tonight.
Yeah.
Where we're talking about making these adjustments that are going to help you catch either bigger and or more bass. And that's something that we have really, really worked hard on the last few years because, you know, it got to a point where like, yeah, we know we can go out and catch fish from like 48 to maybe like, 48/50 degrees all the way up and back down. And then for the last like 5 years, we're like, okay, well now let's work from like 48 down to ice and then from ice back up to 48. Although 48 is like, now it's really easy. So now it's like that 35 to 40 degree, 42 degree window that we're still trying to put more time in. But
there's still ice on the water.
Yeah. It's not
Cold.
easy. But at the same time, we're still trying to unlock more secrets and understanding the information being presented to us by the lake, by the fish, for what adjustments we can continue to make to catch bigger fish or get into more fish. Yeah, you might be catching one or two here or there, but with a simple presentation change, whether it's, which we found recently, just a slightly different weight change from 1/2 ounce to 3 ounce. Literally everything else is good, but just that slight step down in weight makes all the difference in the world. Talking about jigs, all of a sudden going to, you know, like we're talking post spawn and throw on a little bit of orange in your jig, and then like just night and day difference for the number of fish you're catching. Mm-hmm. Going to a 4-inch to a 5-inch trailer on your swim jig or swim bait, and then boom, all of a sudden you catch a giant. And sometimes even the polar opposite, downsizing that exact same presentation. Like this is what we've really been striving to better understand and better capitalize on, is those kind of small adjustments where it's going to provide better results. Again, whether it's a bigger fish or more fish. And thank you, Dan. I happen to like this hat. So that's kind of like that. That's kind of the broad general overview of what it is we've been doing for the last few years and what we are going to continue to do all the freaking time.
90% of the catches that we get, unless it's just like a little dank and it's just like whatever, it's going to eat anything that moves anyway. It's not smart yet. We pretty much talk about almost every single decent fish that we get on how we caught it, what bait setup we're using, like what trailer. We're always like, what do you got on there for trailer?
Yep.
Okay.
What were you doing?
Yeah.
What was your
doing?
cadence?
How slow were you going? Were you dragging it? Were you popping it? Were you shimmy, shimmy, shake?
Yep. Were you fishing that tree? Did you cast way up into it? Did you cast the end of it?
Right.
Did you miss it by a mile and did you just have to get bit on the way out far on the outside, which happened on Saturday? Mm-hmm. I cast at a tree and I missed it by like, 10 feet?
Yeah.
And I remember I looked over and by the way, there's no footage from this day because I was out with my son. So I never record when I'm with my kids. I just not there yet. And I missed it by a mile. I was like, well, that sucks. I'm not going to get a fish unless there's some stupid ass swimming way off the end of the tree. And then like 10 seconds later, I end up catching like a 2. But you know, like things like that. Like we go to the lake and the mental notebook is wiped clean. And we start immediately filling it with information. The very first thing that we do, what's the water temp? Start from there.
Yeah. What's the water temp? What's the wind doing? What's the cloud cover?
And wind, we pay attention to a day or two before we get there. And then what's it doing that day? Wind forecast is huge, especially this time of the year, because it's going to drive a lot of the just everything that the bait fish need to eat, and then the bait fish themselves, and then the big fish with it. 90% of the time. Maybe not even quite that much, but more often than not, wind is your friend this early in the year.
It's, I mean, pretty much all year.
Yeah. I mean,
depending. Yeah.
Vast majority of the time, most of the year. Yeah. But especially in the spring, like I always want to be fishing in the wind. And there's this theory too that, you know, depending upon the size of the body of the water and the exact layout, you know, north end is always going to ice out first because it's going to get most sun. We are in the northern hemisphere. We're pretty far north. So that's always going to get more sun. And then, you know, depending on how much forest you have around your bodies of water, what the overall look of it looks like, elevation all around it, like your northern end could be like 5, 6, 7 degrees warmer than your southern end because there's a giant hill in the southern end, right? So it's never getting any sun and the winds are always blowing from the south up to the north. And whatever water is warming up on the surface temp, you know, at the surface, this is kind of the working theory, that wind will just drive that kind of top skimming layer of slightly warmer water, keep pushing it down to that side of the lake, and it's going to make it just a degree or 2 warmer. Again, just surface temp. But it matters. So if you get like sustained winds this early in the year, like last 5 days, it's been blowing to the north, from the southeast to the northwest, southeast to the northwest, you'd be an idiot not to fish that northwest side.
Right.
Because it's very likely everything's going to be pushed up there. At least the more active fish will. We kind of figured this out too. It doesn't really matter the conditions. There's fish almost in every single square inch of every body of water, but where they tend to be more active really is driven by your weather, your wind conditions. Like this is what we're talking about. Understanding all of those different aspects and making adjustments based on the information that you have, a lot of which you can gather before you even get on the body of water. So we said that's the first thing. Mental slate's clean. We start with water temp. You talked about wind. What else? I would say available structure. Because usually we know where we're going.
Water clarity is... I mean, usually if we're going to a body of water that we fish all the time, we're going to know pretty much what we're going to be doing for the day and how we're going to be working the place depending on the weather conditions.
Like the video you're going to see Friday, which I remember I was like, you know what? I just got a really good feeling about the jerkbait right here. crack. Crack.
Yeah, it was like first or second cast with it. Oh, got one. I'm like, so. I'm out in like 55 feet of water with a jig. What the hell am I doing?
That was good. Anyway, so we, like you said, we already know. Really, we have a good idea because of just years of experience and thousands of hours on the water.
Thousands, yeah. It's an understatement.
Yeah, seriously. But anyway, continue. I'm sorry. I
don't remember what I was saying.
Just continuing with information gathering. So, okay, we know what the wind, the weather forecast leading up to it. We know what for the day was. We know wind. At this point, after a little bit, let the transducer kind of acclimate to the water temp because, you know, it might be 60 degrees outside and sunny, which is going to artificially inflate the temperature on your transducer as the sun's beating the piss out of it. And then you submerge it in 45-degree water. It's going to take a while before it normalizes. So it could be like
about a half hour rough usually.
Yeah.
Is when we start actually looking at the temperature on the graphs.
Yep. So we got that information, and then just 2D sonar. You do not need anything else other than just your standard, traditional 2D sonar. Then we go looking for fish. And now we're talking like really specific to this time of the year where they could be anywhere. But you've already, from previous streams where we talked about this, done your homework the night before, and you've identified your areas of highest probability of success. So you're starting with mainland points, things adjacent to spawn flats, steep banks, steep rocky banks.
Shallower flats with lots of grass.
Yes.
In the spring, that is windblown, is usually they are usually up in there because the bait fish like to hide in that grass, and the wind is blowing right into it. The bass will follow them into that grass and just munch.
Yep. So I get this is a little bit more difficult for people that don't have a power boat of any kind, but try and plan your day accordingly that you can go to a body of water that has like at least two similar but very differently positioned areas that we'll say are like either rock piles or grass patches or points, and go look for fish. If you're not marking any bait fish, that's not it. That's not active. Go to the other side. If that's not it, okay, that's okay. You've eliminated now two areas like it's information, whatever it be. Oh, okay, that was a shallower grass flat adjacent to deep water. There's nothing there. Not on the edge, not up inside of it, nothing. So they're not quite that active yet. Or if you had like 5 days of really warm weather, shit, you're going to go way, way up.
Yep.
You know, now you're talking waters like 53, 54. They could be scraping in a half foot of water. And then if, okay, we had a cold front that moved in 2 days ago and it shut everything down. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing anything on the transition or on the grass, but I've got a deeper rocky point. I can go check that next. Like eliminating conditions and waters and going from there. So now you've gathered all the information to the heart of this. What do you do to get, I really shouldn't have looked at my phone. I got people throwing me questions still. So what are the adjustments, right? We've been talking this whole time about making adjustments that are key. Let's start from something that you and I know extremely well, and from a jig perspective for both smallmouth and largemouth, because we've done exceptionally well for both of those at literally all times of the year. Ice out to ice in, we have hammered both of those fish on jigs. Football jigs specifically, trailers and with or without skirt, that's a whole different ball of wax.
Yeah, that's a whole different stream.
End of the day, it's still a jig, regardless of what it's got for the size, which this is what we're talking about for adjustments. But when I say jig, it is literally all encompassing, and we're fishing it on the bottom.
Weighted hook on the bottom.
Yes, thank you. Weighted hook on the bottom. Skirt, no skirt,
Skirt,
whatever.
skirt.
Skirt. So, what is your go-to? I mean, I think everybody's go-to is probably going to be like a 1/2 ounce football jig with a 3.5 inch craw trailer. Like that's pretty much as standard gets, and for damn good reason. That shit works.
It does.
Pretty much anywhere you go all year round. You will catch fish on that most of the time, but not all the time. And it doesn't always produce the results you're looking for. Adjustment number 1. Tip number 1, call it whatever you want. Making adjustments to our jigs. Your opinion, because I know you and I we go down the same path and at the same time wildly different paths. If you're starting with your traditional jig, now this time of the year, what's the first adjustments you're making to it? Ideally going for bigger fish based on what you're seeing. Like what? Just start talking through the process of what drives you what direction.
If I'm say I'm fishing a rock pile and I'm just catching a couple small fish here and there, but I keep fishing this rock pile and I'll move out and I'll come back to it because fish reload. They'll move in, they'll move out, and other fish will come in. Sometimes it's bigger fish, sometimes it's smaller fish. You just got to get them at the right time. If I'm catching smaller fish and I cut, sometimes I'll go out and I'll make the trailer small. I'll cut an inch off it. Let me see here. Do we have like a normal cross trailer up here?
I have one over here on the other table.
It's a frog. You kind of lied. Okay. So. Uno momento, por favor. Got one? Doesn't matter. Do skirt. Yeah. One second. Why? Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I will. One of the juicy juices.
Yeah.
This was a recent combination that I found that works insanely well, although it's not quite.
It's not exactly what we use.
You know what? Fuck it. We'll tell them. We'll tell them exactly what I did with this. But anyway, go ahead with your point first.
So I will start off. Usually, I will start off cutting. Oh, this has that crazy freaking. Oh,
the regular one, the old one, not the spring.
It's got the barb on there.
It's all right.
But I will cut.
Oh, he's going right into the juice.
I will cut off enough of that trailer where the claws stick just past the skirt. That's obviously not on it, but just past the skirt.
Another way to put that is so the bend of the hook shank where it comes straight and bottoms out before it comes back up, that bend comes out right where the body ends and splits into the appendages. Mm-hmm. That's typically what we both do for our jig trailers.
Pretty much, yeah. So
it's tough to see on Andrew's shirt.
It's tough to see on my shirt because I got a black shirt and the plate.
Get in front of the plate, buddy.
I can't see the stream.
Oh, hang on. It's going to scroll up a smidge. There we go.
There we go. So I'll have it just a shorter one. Once I start finding the fish with this smaller presentation, sometimes you will catch. Sometimes you will catch bigger fish on this presentation. I mean, it's moving. The fish is there. It's going to eat it if you get its attention. If I'm starting to catch a bunch of small fish on that, I will throw, which I usually just go straight to it.
I may have another one.
I will throw the full trailer on there, and it's just a bigger, longer, and that thing moving through the.
Look at my kid has on his desk.
Yeah, perfect, right there. Boom. Something big and juicy. That fish wants to eat something big. A big fish is gonna more likely eat a bigger meal in the spring. Oh, you cut the hook off that.
That's what he uses for flipping practice.
Oh, sick.
That's my boy. My oldest. Hey, Jason. Thanks for joining, buddy.
But
Coogan Slayer. It's all good, man. You're here. That's what matters.
When I go to a new pond or a new lake, I'm usually throwing that smaller profile to start to find fish. I mean, a 1 pound bass isn't going to have any problem picking that up.
No.
But I don't want to give him a reason to not pick it up.
Exactly. And by the way, with that, especially that trim version, and that's what I was about to say, and he jumped right into it. I'll
just put it on trim then.
It's I'll get the bag in a second. It's a Yamamoto craw trailer. It's a very finesse presentation. Smatus Baits actually makes one, pretty much the same thing. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of them. But it's like a perfect size combo that has caught me numbers and quality. Because sometimes even a big fish wants a teeny tiny little meal. What was it, last year? Yeah, last year. My first big fish of the year I stuck was 5.15, and it was on this exact thing, but it was all black and blue, whereas now this is a contrast in color. But this exact contrast in color combo has been like it for us lately.
That is a lot smaller.
But that's like, it's short
compared to that.
But it's still bulky. It's a dense but easy meal. Easy to see, easy to pick up.
Right. They're just going to come in and suck it in real quick, and they're going to try and take off. Having a little bass coming at this, they're going to look at him, they'll be like, eh, and they're going to grab it by the claws. And you will most likely come back with one missing, both missing. If you see that, 9 times out of 10, it's a smaller fish chasing that bait. A bigger fish will just straight up engulf this thing down to its gullet. What else were we gonna adjustments?
Well, we've already reiterate the point again on contrast and colors because we kind of talked about it, but a little bit out of context. But it's good to reiterate given that it's on topic to this right now.
A jig is not always representing a crawfish or crayfish or whatever the hell you want to call it. Bluegill sit down on the bottom. There's blue on this. They see a flash of blue moving through the grass. That could be a bluegill. There's green, almost like a chartreuse. What would you call that?
I would say like a lighter green pumpkin.
A lighter green pumpkin, yeah. But bluegill also have like a chartreuse strip, like kind of markings on their tail. They see this thing coming through the grass, they're gonna think that's a bluegill, and they'll come up and engulf that thing. You can also use more perchy colors. Like, didn't you have one on the other day? It was more of a perch. No, that was That was a chatterbait, I think.
Yeah, that was my chatterbait. But I did try a more perch colored scheme on my Hustler, where I forget what color it is that Derek has there at Beast Coast, but it kind of has a little bit of orange and a little too much red for it to really be a perchy kind of color pattern, but close enough.
It's almost like a spring crawl.
Yeah. But it had a little bit more orange. It just had a little bit more pizzazz to the color scheme. And I thought maybe, given how tough it was for us on Sunday, something a bit louder may have triggered a bite. So that was kind of, that's one of the other things we'll do is now we're going to really change up color schemes.
Yeah.
Not just, your typical all green pumpkins for a natural color for clearer waters, or all black and blues for a more natural color for darker stained waters, or for really cold water where darker colors tend to really help. But then, especially for smallmouth, they'll really key in on like vibrant colors for some reason that I still don't understand, but I just know that it works. Pinks, chartreuses, whites, and largemouth will tend to do the same even at times. I'm never going to tell you guys what it is. If you watch my videos, you'll see it because I don't hide it. But one of my best producing spinnerbaits is a color you never even guess, because it doesn't make any sense, but it's insane how good it is and how well it works.
It is really good.
That's kind of that next level. Like, right, okay, so you're out there, like Andrew said, you're throwing the Hustler and you start smacking them. Okay, but you haven't caught one over 2 pounds yet. So next step, big boy. Now you're going to go with the traditional size. This is a Beast Coast Vanquish jig, so it's an Arky style. This is the 7/16, so basically almost a half ounce. It's got 3.5 inch rage crawl on it, because that's just what I gave my kid for when he's flipping. But I will do a whole bunch of different jig trailers. And then that's that next adjustment. Okay, this is working. This is a very dead action craw trailer, but it's not producing any big bites. So you go upsize, and then now you've got a very violent reacting trailer on this, when those legs will kick like a mother. But all of a sudden you stop getting bites. Okay, is it because of the size, or is it because of the action on your trailer? So then I will take the trailer off first, and then I'll go back to something like this. I'll pick up a bigger craw that has dead action in the legs. So I'll still, what I'm trying to do is mimic this action in this size and see if that doesn't work. Okay, still not working. Well, maybe it really is just the size, or maybe it's the color. I'll come back to this. I'll throw a different color.
I've also switched going from, if you're in grass, if you're fishing, say like you're fishing the Hustler in grass, this is actually a pretty good jig for the grass because it's pretty streamlined, but you can still work it around some like smaller gravelly kind of rocks, not like baseball, basketball size rock, like more like baseball to like golf ball size rocks. You can make it through pretty good. More like gravel though, I would say for this, but this is still really good with going through grass. The Arky head is extremely good for going through grass.
Ben, thank you for the donation. $10 bribery for the juice.
Nice. Sometimes I'll take a half-ounce football head jig with a big-ass trailer on it and rip it through the grass, because that's going to make a lot of commotion, especially if there's rocks in that grass. That football head is going to crack off those rocks and make a whole bunch of commotion, a whole bunch of noise. Those fish are just going to come in and they want to investigate to see what the hell that is. I've had more luck throwing a football jig, obviously a football jig through bigger rocks. Now, Arky head is not a good jig to throw, or no, through big boulders.
It's not bad.
It really isn't bad.
You should see some of my Arky heads. There's no paint left on them.
This one's been used. That's an Arky head. That's
my kid's been dragging through that thing through friggin' everything. So that one's kind of hard, but
I try not to throw an Arky head in rocks. If I'm going to a lake with smallies and we're in boulders, I'm throwing a football head. 90%, 99% of the time.
Yep.
Or the Hustler.
Yep. So Ferris had a great question, and so did Jerry. I'm going to answer Jerry's first because this is very quick. Jerry asked, question, are your lake levels low, normal, or high right now? All over the place. Where are my moderators at for that chat, by the way? What the hell is that? hang on. I gotta help with this. This is
Hot girls and boy video.
yeah. Ban them too, please, before you start. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, your lake level's low, normal, or high right now, all over the place. I would say most are normal, but we've run into. Actually, I don't think really any are high because we had a pretty normal tail end of the winter,
Some
and
of the
we haven't had
rivers are a little high, but
yeah, a little bit, but
not overly.
no, none like the lakes or ponds or anything we fished.
Right.
There's only one anything like there's one spot relatively local to us that I think is a little high. So I think it's got like a decent sized stream that's feeding into it. I think it's running a little bit above pool right now, but like not alarming or like
It's pretty normal.
yeah. But there's still a lot of places that are actually a little bit far behind. Like either they drew it down too low over the winter, or they didn't put the boards or close the dams back up as early as they normally would. There's some places that are still pretty low. It's kind of weird. We drove by a place out west of where we are here. I don't even want to say any lake names.
God.
And it was still like wicked low.
It was a boneyard of rocks. That place was empty. It was pretty much empty.
Oh, no kidding. Steve Sargent, you are the man. I have been looking for something like that for like the last 6 weeks. An easier way to do the waffles. I've literally been looking for that. Thank you. I'm going to set that up for the next stream. Speaking of which, waffle coming up in about 3 minutes. So, yeah, sorry. Anyway, for the most part, normal pool on everything. Some areas, still a little low. Ferris had a really good question. How long do you try it before you decide to change color or size or make some other adjustment? Typically, we'll run through 3 of what we consider our areas with the highest probability of success, and we'll fish each one of those spots for 20 to 30 minutes. And
sometimes longer. Depending.
It depends. If we're marking a ton of fish around it, we know they're there, then I may only, we may work that one area for an hour and a half, but only work a different jig combo or any other bait combo for, say, 5 to 10 minutes. And, one case in point, one of our local favorite spots.
It makes it a lot easier when you have a fishing partner. If you're out there by yourself, you just kind of got to try.
Yeah, you got to go through everything on your own.
You just got to do, you got to do everything that 2 people do by yourself.
Yep. I'll give one very specific example. So one of our favorite places to fish, there's this one point, right? And overall, I think the average depth here, the place where you lost that 8 on the rat. Yeah, sorry. That's the easiest way for me to remind you which lake I'm talking about. There's a steep point, but it's off the edge of a shallow, like spawn flat. So that spawn flat comes out, and it's probably good like 50 to 75 feet from shore. But it's weird because there's like a point, and then from that point, it only comes out like 5 feet. But then it just keeps going. Like the shoreline comes in, and all of a sudden, the shoreline bangs out, but then that shallow submerged flat just keeps going.
Oh, yeah.
In this wide loop, and the shoreline goes, and it picks it back up.
Yeah.
So it's this weird, like, quarter of a square with a big rounded corner, and there's like big rocks.
Like a triangle?
No,
that'd be that.
Anyway, don't worry about him. There's big rocks on top, off the face. There's a rock pile like 20 feet off of it. Like this one spot literally has everything you could hope to look for this time of the year, which is why we always go there. And then off either side of this point, it's just a crazy steep bank, and it comes down to, say, anywhere from 12 to 15 feet at the bottom. Oh, it's giveaway time. And everything just stacks. So depending upon what the conditions are, they're either away from the point on those steep banks, just off the bottom of the steep bank, out to like 50 to maybe 100 feet, or they're working that point. So that is like just an easy spot to pick, right? But we only know the details of that because of the number of times we fish there. One pass with any set of electronics, you can figure out all of that structure that's there. So we'll start there. And then I'll have on, recently, I'll have like 4 different jigs tied on.
Jesus, dude.
And I'll go what I think is going to be the best one. Like if I know there's no vegetation, it's going to be a 3/8 ounce football with kind of a dead action craw trailer, like a Zoom Super Chunk, something like that, right? And then I'll also have a spider jig, and then I'll have the Hustler. So I've got like 3 different ranges of sizes, and I'm going to go black and blue across the board on all those. because I think black and blue is just like, you're going to make it work 95% of the time. And then after that, it comes down to size and cadence. It's what's going to get them to bit. And if I'm not getting bit on any one of those three things in the first 15 minutes, I'm taking one of them off. And usually it's the spider jig, because that's the easiest one to change. Just take the trailer off, throw a new one on there, bomb it back out. Plus, it's also in the middle of my size range. And it's going to catch teeny tiny fish and freaking giants. It's a very long-winded way of answering it, but that's kind of the premise of this, right? We're like trying to give that deeper dive into the methods behind our madness for those levels of adjustments. So if you already have a spot that you've identified as like, yep, there's going to be fish here, I just got to figure them out. Maximum 15 minutes before I'm fucking cutting everything off and I'm retying. But I'm going to stay in that spot for like 2 hours. And then if it's an area that, like a lake that we kind of have no idea, it's like first or second trip of the year out there, water's still cold. We'll cover 5 different spots and they'll all look the same for the number of fish there and nobody's biting.
And we'll fish 20 different baits.
Yeah, but of the 20 we already have tied on, and then we'll bounce like those 5 spots, and then we'll kind of circle back to like, okay, well, which ones did we either get short striked on that we didn't catch a fish on? Okay, let's go back there and let's start cut everything off and retie and try again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a loaded question, but that's like where we go with that.
And meanwhile, we're talking the entire time.
Oh, dude, literally all day, every day.
Oh, you change it. What are you throwing on? I'm throwing on, I don't know, I'm throwing on a Zoom Super Chunk or whatever. And then what do you have on? Oh, I got a flatworm. But we're always talking the entire time. Either we're talking shit to each other or we're talking about fishing, but 90% of it's talking shit. So,
yeah. Hey, Brian, too. I missed you. Sorry. Yes, little Tommy, you should be fishing a jig a lot more.
Hey, Tom.
Bob, using spider jigs, no changing, any adjustment is there. Yeah, for the most part. God, it smells good in here. Making some waffle. What is happening?
Hey, Jerry, you should just leave that boat up here for me.
Oh, hella bass. You still have 20 inches of ice up there?
Wow.
Dude, that sucks.
Damn.
I'm sorry, buddy. But thank you for stopping in, man. Always appreciate you swinging by.
That sucks.
Have a good night, friend.
Later, dude.
All right, Cam's got a good question. What do you do when you see monster fish cruising around the boat that won't eat anything?
Put the rod down and just watch it.
Yeah, or go super
It knows
desperation
you're
mode,
there.
like me. Throw a Senko. I legit bust out the Senko on Sunday after like 5 hours. I looked at him. I was like, I'm doing it. And you're like, what? And I'm like, I can't even talk about it. And I come up and I'm just like holding it up. He's like, oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, we get it. We do when you see them, they see you. And those bigger fish got big for a reason.
Yeah, they're not dumb. You could be 40, 50 feet away. You don't see them yet. They know you're there.
Right. If you already caught one of those fish or you stung one and you remember exactly what you were doing, make a mental note of where that spot was. Hell, if you have one of those floating marker buoys, dude, toss one down. That makes it even easier.
Get the hell out of there.
Let it rest for like a half an hour. Come back. We've done that a lot where we've seen fish. We've let it rest. We've come back. We did a tournament last year.
Yeah, I caught a 4.5 or 4.25.
Yep.
And then we left. We literally caught that fish and we scooted for 45 minutes to an hour. And then we came right back to it. And then you came around and caught another 4.5 or 4.75. Was it a 5?
That was the 5. It was 4.98.
Okay.
My scale said 5. By the time we weighed it was 4.98.
Yeah.
I didn't even see there was new owners, Jerry. Interesting.
Really?
Cam, don't even talk to me about your 20 to 25 pound measly sack, okay? Oh, well, 20 to 25 for 4. Okay, different story. No, we were we legitimately saw multiple dirty 30 bags.
Just swimming right by us. We saw it and we were like, oh, that's cute.
Like,
It's just not going to eat.
We spent hours in this one area. We couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, they weren't
I'm throwing a Senko. Like, how much more desperate does that
You
get?
threw a fluke.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I know. That's why I start with
threw
Senko.
everything.
I tried, man.
Everything. They wouldn't bite. So then we moved out. We're like, hey, let's just go. They're not biting here. Let's move. Let's go try them deep.
Yep.
Or something completely different.
And that worked.
It did.
Because I caught 2 right off the bat on the 110 plus 2.
And I got my first bite of the day.
6.52. Giant Dave Mercer certified.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, Aaron, Die Hard. Thank you, buddy. We have worked hard and we have been very fortunate to earn the sponsors that we have. And that list is about to grow, which is pretty dope. It may even grow by like multiple companies here in the next couple weeks, but it is for sure growing by one very, very soon here, which is awesome. So like that's, we've talked a lot about general overview. We've talked about jigs. Now it's time for those that are still here. We appreciate you. It's time for another waffle.
Look, you gotta, well.
Oh, no, this one we're just going to just give this one away. Is that what we had said? We should.
Free jerkbait. I think you get it for free, but you got to pay for it.
Well, originally we were thinking the $5 waffle for this. $5 entry. Because David hooked us up.
Yeah, give it away.
Gary wanted out, Jerry? Really? He must have gotten paid a lot of money for that, dude. I would like to know what the sale price was on that. Is that Spawn Cherry? Yes, it is.
Well,
it is the
old.
Vision 110 plus 1 Junior and Spawn Cherry.
It's a gorgeous bait.
What do you think? Give it away for free?
Yeah.
You guys want it for free?
Yeah, hell yeah. They deserve it.
David's probably like, those dumbasses. We raffled a shirt. We appreciate that. Tell you what, maybe we'll raffle off a hat. We could do that too if you guys are interested.
180 mil?
What?
I believe it.
I didn't think it'd be quite that high, but I knew it would be high. But wow. I was thinking more like the 40 to 50 mil. Because, I mean, you literally can't go anywhere without there being Senkos. But even still, 180 mil, that's insane.
You can't go anywhere now without there being Goon Squad either.
Yeah, then there's that. If Yamamoto's worth that much, Guggen's got to be worth just as much.
Dude, they're huge.
They're probably worth more, honestly, with how, and I feel like well, no, because Yamamoto has a ton of overlap too. I don't know. I can't even guess. I got multiple. Chad wants that. The wife says, just give her for free. Okay, the wife's spoken.
Okay.
I had multiple customers asking me the price for going up as much as Gary's were. That is not right. Jeez. All right. Who wants a free jerkbait? Let's give it away. And we can talk more about making adjustments.
Who wants it?
It is 9:28. You had to have until 9:30. We got 61 viewers here. So 1 through 80 and go. Pick a number. Pay attention to the chat. Don't pick the same number.
Yeah, Grub.
Was it a sponsorship or was it just kind of like a one-off deal per se?
I don't remember.
You have less than a minute to get your numbers in. Chad, 27. Did we already see 27? Nope. Chad's got 27. Oh, Casting North. Sorry, buddy. Pick another number. Chad beat you. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Keep going. Make sure you watch that list so you don't pick someone else's number.
Yeah.
Or we're cutting the bait in half and sending you each a half.
Hey, E-Stack. One number, buddy. Oh, just somebody already picked 66? South Jersey. What is happening? There's so many numbers.
Just Christ.
1 through 80, is that what I said? Yeah. The concurrent number of viewers here keeps like shifting by like 30 something. Just like up, down, up, down, up, down.
Holy shit. Last time I saw it was like twice that.
Yeah, well, I really don't understand what's going on. It's kind of wild. It's like all of a sudden you just get this dip and then it goes right back. It's like YouTube can't properly track everybody. Jerry, yes, very insane. Did I still have random number generator? I said we're gonna do 1 through 80.
Hey, back up to 52.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense. Okay, I have 1 through 80 on this, and it says this is not the winner. Reiterate that this is not the winning number. It already says 6. So when I hit generate, we'll get a new number from there.
Is it over?
And it's 9:30. It's over.
You're done.
Casting
Stop.
North. I'm going with your first one there at 12, not 39. Get out of here.
Unless somebody already has 12.
Oh, right. Then there's that. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Oh, yeah. South Jersey just had 12 right there.
I gotta pee real quick.
Okay. You have fun. All right. I'm going to do this. Here I come. Camera time. Oh, I got to. Yep. You need someone to hold it? New sponsor. Interesting. Dan, I think you already knew about one of them. we had somebody else contact us. And initially, it sounded like it was going to be like, well, there's a lot of moving pieces to this, and there's another phone call that has to happen with another one that, like, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. I'm really excited about where we're at. Okay, so it was already on 6. Hopefully y'all can hear me. My mic says it's picking me up. Hang on, I gotta wait for a little delay. Hey, go away. 6. Okay, so generate. Oh, look at that. My phone's actually in view. 57. Did I not just see?
Would you say 57?
57. It's right there. 57.
57.
No,
Who is
it's
it?
57.
Who is it?
I'm gonna laugh so hard. What did I say? Channel was 27.
Yeah. 57. Wait.
Make sure there's nobody else above.
Wait. Is that the top? Yep, that's the top. 57.
Oh, Ben Bradley had 56.
Yeah.
Guggen Slayer.
Guggen Slayer.
Hey, congrats, buddy. Hey, you know what? That's the first time that actually went out, like, right off the bat.
Yeah,
What a
try.
Guggen. Mulligan.
Who the hell said mulligan?
Look at everybody's on there. Guggen.
Oh, yeah.
So close, Kara. Oh, that was
Congrats,
good.
dude. You got a friggin' sweet-ass bait. Jelly, bro.
Jason, I don't know that I'm doing the high school team again this year yet because of my new job. I have 2 trade shows to do in the fall, September and October. So we'll see how it goes. Guggen, buddy, email me, please. 603bass@gmail.com right now. Or message me. I don't care where you do it. Instagram or Facebook or email me. Let me know your mailing address and stuff, and I'll make sure it's in the mail tomorrow, along with a bunch of hoodies that we're shipping out.
Yeah.
Cam, I'll give you used shoes, a 2-day-old slice of pizza, and a chewed piece of gum for it.
Sold. I'll just go buy you one.
Honestly, you guys should all be saying thank you, and I'm even gonna thank you, and he's still here for donating that dupe bait for the waffle. There you go. You should all be thanking Any
Thank
Bass
him
Addict.
and go follow him on Instagram.
Yes, he is Any Bass Addict on Instagram. So, yeah, Guggen, message me, please, now, tonight, so that way I can get this packaged up and in the mail for you tomorrow, along with a bunch of other stuff. So, we really talked about jigs. Another big thing. It's kind of weird, right? Because, like, nothing... It isn't always necessarily bait or technique specific, but what you're doing with whatever your chosen point of attack is going to be. I guess one of the big things I want to reiterate is everybody's got their comfort zone, right? You need to be able to be willing to shift out of that. Oh, that's what we can talk about. Location. That's a big thing, where we're making minor adjustments inside of a wide window. But on the topic of baits, you have whatever your confidence go-to is, right? So
Our
from
confidence
there,
bait is obviously jigs.
for a number of reasons, for a number of 5 and 6 pound reasons, and 7 pound reasons. Not sevens, 7.
Sevens.
No. Oh, you mother.
That's plural. Sevens is plural.
I thought you were talking about mine, and then I was like, but I didn't catch the jig, and you're like, sevens.
Deuce of them on jigs. It was the same fish, so technically it was 1.
Yeah.
Years apart.
Cheater. Anyway. Making small adjustments makes all the difference in the world. But being able to embrace that and recognize when you need to make those changes, that's the hard part. And when do you decide to do that? And it's kind of hard to pick that up very quickly. So if there's any one thing I want to reiterate, you got to be patient and you got to put time in on the water. We didn't get to this point by figuring this all out overnight. Everything we've talked about, when it's just us talking about it, or if we have guests and we're talking about it like hardcore, we're taking over in the conversation, it's because it's something we have done multitudes of times over numbers of years.
Thousands. of times.
Seriously, like, I mean, any one specific technique we talk about, we have literally probably 1,000 hours of experience doing that one thing. So it makes it a little bit easier for us at this point to make those adjustments because we've gone through so many different situations. It does not mean that we still know all the answers every time. We still get our teeth kicked in plenty. So just be open-minded. Be mindful of the fact that if you're at that point and you're still trying to learn, that's why it's called learning. Like, you got to go through it, man. Some people just have a natural gift, and they're outliers for how quickly they can just make shit like that happen. So keep that in mind. Chin up. It's always about having fun. Make those adjustments when it comes to techniques specifically or baits. Size is what I will typically change first.
Always.
Because we've already established what colors work 9 times out of 10 for any situation, any body of water, any time of the year, period. So from there, size is what we will change first. Then from there, weight will be the other thing that I'm looking at. Like, if I've already kind of dialed in where I think they're going to need a bigger jig, I might play with 3/8 versus 5 ounce first before
5 ounce.
Sorry.
It's a big ass jig.
3/8 or a half ounce first before I will play with, say, like 5-inch versus 4-inch. Especially when you get closer to spawn. Ice out, I'm going to play with size before I play with weight. And then as you get into warmer water, for me, I feel like it's all about weight. You know, like sometimes they want something really easy and slow that they can follow. And other times they want something heavy that's going to rock it by them. They're just like, whoa, I don't know what that was, but I got to eat it because I don't know what it was.
I don't know what that was, but I want it in my mouth.
So that's from that. So let's talk about, oh goodness, hang on. We got Chad. Thank you, Chad. Another donation for the channel. And that I suck. You are, yes, I know. I'm sorry. Thanks, buddy.
Chad, you're mean to him. Keep it up.
Yeah. So we honestly, we could probably talk another 3 hours if we were just roll through like our next even 2 top producing baits for this time of the year for the adjustments we make. So one of the things we can talk about is location on the lake, location for what bodies of water we like to choose, the research we do to it. Like, a lot of that plays into it, but we can talk about location on the body of water and the adjustments we make from there.
It's also come to the point where we're like, what kind of bait do you want to go fish today? We can go fish jerkbait at this lake because the water temp is right for it. The weather's right for it. Or we can go 3 hours north and go jig in 40 feet of water.
Right.
What do you want to do this weekend?
Which is pretty dope that we got to that point where we can we can choose our weekend based on what kind of bait we want to fish. You know what? We haven't gotten into a shallow water jig bite for a little bit. We can go to any one of these 10 lakes and do that. You know what? I really feel like finessing up some deep water smallies. Let's go in any one of these 5 lakes we have. Literally any time of the year. But let's dive into that a little bit deeper. But for any bass addict, I mean, bass don't have hands, so they touch things by eating them. Lol. Dude, if you saw the way these fish fought this weekend, they had hands, man.
They were swinging.
Before we go into it, there's more questions. Cam, have you ever had it where they don't want a reaction bait, but they don't want a slow bait? They want a reaction bait slow or a slow bait fast. That makes sense. Yes, we have talked about this many, many times. Suspended jerkbait for pre-spawn smallies. Water temp's like 50 degrees. I've had days where they won't eat something that's constantly moving, but they won't chase something if it's not constantly moving. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen, but it's happened multiple times. So the solution was, like, yeah, I could get their attention with a lipless or square bill, but the moment I killed it, one's going to sink like a rock, and the other one's going to float to the surface like a cork. And those fish are just like, yeah, no. So solution, suspended jerkbait worked aggressively hard for like 5 seconds. And then 1 second pause. Repeat. And it, like clockwork, you just like whack, 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 you just rip it and then little pause. And then you rip it again, and as soon as you pause it, all of a sudden, there goes your rod. I've had plenty of days like that. Okashira jigs, which is that little screwhead swim jig from Megabass with just say like a 3.5-inch spark shad in the back or 3-inch. We've had days like that where like they kind of want something finesse. They're only eating tiny baits or Ned rig, but you got to work it aggressively. You know, something like that. We were swimming it along, and they were kind of following it, but they wouldn't commit to it. So I said to my buddy John, this was last year up in the lakes, I was like, fish it like a jig, but aggressively. Because I'm curious, because it's going to have kind of a slower fall because of that prop head, but you should be able to rip it up fast. Dude, first cast, like third rip, smokes a 3-pounder. And then continue to do that for like the next 2 hours, where he's bombed this teeny tiny little presentation out, a nice slow fall, and then rip it up off the bottom, and nice slow fall, and then rip it, and all of a sudden it just gets trucked. So yes, we've been in those situations multiple times. And even that, I even provided 2 very specific examples. South Jersey. Weather is warming up so slow you could probably even talk about 2 weeks from now and still apply to the water nearby. Yeah, you're not wrong. And this cold front we're going to get the next couple days here is really going to make things interesting. That's for sure. It's going to be near freezing every night for the next like 4 nights.
I hate life.
I'm actually, you know, I forgot to check where we're going to go.
Oh, it's probably going to get a foot of snow.
Oh, God. Frozen mix today. The next overnight, so, oh, my God.
Really?
34 degrees, 35 degrees, 34 degrees.
Maybe we shouldn't go.
Leading. Well, I don't know, because we know exactly where they are. And if that cold pulls them out,
They're going to be right.
this is perfect to roll into this topic. Chad, it's snowing at my house
This is
right
literally
now.
what we do, like through text, on the phone, or just like either on the way home from the fishing that lake or any lake. We're talking about the next time we're going to go out.
Right. And it makes it easier if you, like, especially when you're in that learning phase, if you pick like 1 or 2 bodies of water where one, you got like a really shallow kettle pond, right? So it's going to warm up fast, but it's also going to cool off very fast. And you got a much bigger, deeper body of water. Stabler water temperatures, but it's going to take a lot longer to warm up. So depending upon what you got for weather conditions, you can kind of like, if you're fortunate enough to say you fish 3 days a week, or if you're going fishing like every 3 days, you're going to be able to see the patterns of water temp changes over the course of 3 trips and how the weather's impacting that, and make your decisions based on that, which is essentially what we're talking about, making those small adjustments. He literally just said, maybe we don't go there this weekend, because as we're looking at the weather app, it's going to be, again, tonight's overnight low 35, followed by 34, 35, 34 Saturday night into Sunday morning. Sunday is going to be bright and sunny, 60s. We're not going there if there's no wind. That lake kicks my teeth in. I've caught 1 big fish out of these 4 trips, but in my 4 toughest trips on this specific body of water, no wind sucks. They
Took me
do not
5
bite.
hours to get my first bite.
Yep.
I don't care how big the freaking fish will. I mean, I do, but I don't.
Right, but
it took me 5 hours to get my first bite.
Yeah, Jerry, you're not wrong, buddy. No, you're absolutely right. Like it's. Yeah, we caught a giant each, but we were there for 10 hours. I only got 5 freaking bites. You only got 2. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were fortunate to get 1 big bite, but that's tough fishing. I don't care what we end up with. I'm happy I got it. I do care I caught a giant, but it doesn't change the fact that that's tough fishing. So, making adjustments to find bigger and better fish based on what you're finding for conditions in the lake. Like, where are you going? What are you making for changes on location inside the lake? Throw everything else out for techniques and everything. Assume you got that figured out, but fuck it, they're just not biting that area. What are you going to do? We can talk specifically again about what we did this past weekend. We knew those fish had pulled up shallow in several areas. We knew that they were feeding aggressively on moving baits. And we knew that outside of that, we should have been able to go target deep water smallies exactly where you expect to find them right now. Steep, rocky points, just suspended out near main lake points, and then like a standard or deeper diving jerkbait should have got them. And there would still be plenty of deeper fish, which we definitely marked. Water was 46 to 49 main lake, dropping a Demiki rig down. We got some fish to react to it. But we started out shallow. And what happened?
Super shallow.
That bite was fire first thing in the morning and then just shut off.
For like a half hour.
Yep.
And then, half hour.
We had no wind.
A half hour between a half hour and an hour. And then we had no wind. Wind completely slicked off. And so did the fishing. So did the bite. So that's when we decided, we're like, you know what? Let's just go out deep. Let's go find some rock piles. Let's just change what we're doing completely. Like 180 degree difference from what we were just fishing.
Because we knew they were going to be there. Whether or not they were going to bite, different story, but we knew because of this lake having such diversity and structure and depths, we knew there had to be fish there. Maybe the deeper bite was going to pay off better. And it did.
It did.
What was it, like 5 minutes into that change? Just, I mean, again, going from an average.
You got that small in the jerkbait.
On the 110+2. Yeah, it was like my third or fourth cast out in that spot. It was fast, and it was like a 2-pound smallies. It wasn't big, but nonetheless, it was like, okay, immediate change, completely different situation, different presentation, but still in an area that should be in, and boom, fish in the boat. And then half an hour after that, another fish in the boat. And then half an hour after that, big fish in the boat. And they were all about that same range, like 25 to 15 feet.
Yep.
I should have said that the other way around.
15, 25.
Yep. But that's like, that's kind of the benefit of fishing a bigger, deeper body of water. You can make those bigger adjustments for, not based on presentation, but more, I guess, feeding opportunity, like what they're kind of keyed in on, and just completely different situation because of what the conditions were doing. Like,
they were down there. There was a lot of fish down there.
And those
deep.
Yeah, and those deeper fish don't typically get as spooked by super calm conditions.
No.
Not as often. Still happens.
They were still shut off for a little while.
Yes, they were. They absolutely were.
That was tough. It was just tough. A tough day. I mean, for the numbers, it was a tough day.
Yep. I'm trying, like, what, do you ever use a silver buddy? Tried and true. Die-hard anglers. Yeah, dude. All the time. And for some reason, it just has not been producing for us lately. I don't know why. I own 5 different brands of tailspins. I own 4 different brands of silver buddies. I own every color you can think of. Chrome, gold with black, perch, fire tiger, white, smelt, rainbow. Did I say perch already? I did.
Probably the first thing you said.
What the hell are those bait fish? Is it herring that run in the ponds down the Cape?
Alewife.
Alewife, thank you. I have alewife.
Herring. The herring do too.
I think herring, whatever it is. One with a little stupid black dot on the side. Like black and blue with a little black dot.
That's a shad.
I don't know what it is. Whatever.
Maybe that's a herring. It's an alewife, I think. I don't freaking know.
Yeah.
I know shad have black dots.
I trust me. Oh yeah, I use them. I've got every single one of those combinations, by the way, for colors. I have both in 1/2 ounce and 3/4 ounce too. I literally have a Plano 3700 just for blade baits and tailspins. And I don't even have everything in there because I bought some line through ones that I misplaced. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but I put them in my box with like my markers and shit that I used to customize my baits and trailers. And for some reason I decided to put these in there. I don't know why, but I wish I do. And I don't have room for those in my Plano. I need another freaking box to be able to hold those too.
Alewife.
Dude, I don't know what it is. I think more than anything, it's a kind of a confidence killer right now because I just haven't made it work since fall of last year. But oh boy, did we smack them around last year on it. And I'm probably just not getting my cadence down. That could be a big thing.
On what?
Silver buddies.
Oh,
blade baits.
Yeah.
Blade baits, silver buddies. Silver buddies more of a brand, but yeah, blade baits. Chad asked an excellent question. Okay, so having said everything that you just said, when do you accept quantity over quality and when do you just move on? It depends on how desperate we get.
There is no point. I always want quality over quantity.
Yeah, well,
that's the goal, isn't it?
95
to catch the
times,
biggest fish you can.
95 times out of 100, yes. But we
sometimes we do just say, like we did this past weekend on Saturday.
I was going to say, thank you very much.
Let's go catch fish today.
We've done that 3 times now this season. Because there was that day you were sick, so the next video that I'll have up on Friday, when I'm done with the stream, I'm going to be going in and probably editing for the next 3 hours. We were out in a spot, and like I had already caught like a couple of 3s and a couple of 2s on the jerkbait, and I don't think you had a fish yet. But like one fish in, because I said like I really want to get on a jerkbait bite today, and like I know we can do it here, and it's probably gonna be a little slow, but we know there's a quality here. And they're just like, yeah, we know if we went to the other pond down the road, we'd probably catch like 40 fish. I was like, and we had been. This is where the quantity over quality thing comes into play. We really haven't had at this point we had one numbers day this season. And that was that magical day where we also had a 27-pound bag for our best 5. And I was like, I know I could probably catch another 4 here today, like guaranteed a 4, maybe a 5. But I know if we go there, we're both catching at least 20 fish each. And that's really hard to pass up when you've had, at that point, like 12 trips out and only one day where I caught more than 3 fish.
But
it's pretty tempting to like know you can go out there and guarantee you're going to catch 21 pounders just to be like, yeah, this is fun. And there he is again. And all right.
it gets fun because then at that point, we kind of like have like a little competition, like who has the most.
Yeah.
He's like, he's at 7. Fuck, I'm at 5. I got to get 2 more. Got one. And then we like, especially with jerkbaits, you can catch a fish without the person next to you knowing.
Oh my God.
Because you just kind of hide it, and then when they hit, you just reel. And you don't do anything but reel it in, and you get it up on the boat, and you turn around like, oh, hey, sorry. I got another one.
I'm gonna try. You'll see that in the video. There was a video we never uploaded last year because by the time I got to it, like it was done. It was 2 months after we had fished. I'm like, I can't upload this. This doesn't even make any sense for this time of the year. And I had 3 fish in a row off this one rock. And at that point, I think I already had like 5 or 6 more fish than you in a short period of time. They're just slaying shaky heads. And I hooked one. And he looks back, you're like, another one? I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. And I reel it in. And I think it was that point I caught 3 more. So the next one, I set the hook. And I was just like, I felt the bite. And I'm like, I kind of leaned into it. And I'm like, we're trying to do this. And immediately Andrew looks over at me. He's like, what the fuck? And I laughing. Catch the fish, release it. Cast by the rock. And I'm just like, standing there like.
That's what Travis does.
Just trying to keep my hands in front of my body. And I'm like, kind of looking over my shoulder. And I look back and he's just already standing there looking at me with his hands on his hips. I almost passed out. I was laughing so hard. I had no idea. And like when I look back at the footage, like the moment I set the hook, he was like, like he saw it instantly. I'm reeling for like a good 10 seconds. Like I totally got him this time. Anyway. What the hell are we? Oh, okay. Do I reel it? What?
Excuse me?
Wait, must be a size problem thing. Or reel it both? Oh, yo-yo or reel it or both. Both. Sorry. You know what? I would actually say I almost never reel it, but I do something that's kind of like that, just in the method in which I retrieve it, where I'm moving it, and a little bit longer than a standard like yo-yo retrieve would be, but I'm still very close to the bottom. And it's not always easy to maintain what I'm trying to do, but that's pretty much the only 2 ways I do it. Rarely do I actually just like reel it and straight retrieve it. Although funny enough, last year on one of my best days I've had in a long time, was that last year or was that 2 years ago?
Which one?
Oh, it wasn't this past November. It was the November before. So a year and a half ago when I was out there with John. And like I started hitting him pretty good on the blade. And all of a sudden like, he's like, yo, nothing. And I just started burning it back to the boat. Mind you, I'm in 50 feet of water. And I must have got halfway back to the boat. And all of a sudden it just stopped. And I was like, oh, wait. I set the hook. My rod didn't move. It was a 4 1/4 pound smallmouth. It was awesome.
Where was that?
Where we just were.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. Dan Binsky, Demiki are both great blade baits. Also, the head and sonar flash blades are selling. Yep, those are, Binsky's my go-to. Those are all phenomenal ones. Casting North. Have you ever had luck upsizing the lure when you're catching them, or should you keep weeding through to get that bigger fish? Twofold. I know how I'm going to answer this. Do you want to answer this first?
I'll upgrade. I'll upsize it.
Upsize is the first thing I'll do. Or, depending upon what I'm throwing, I'll go with something deeper. Because the thing we've always found is that bigger fish, if there's a wide range of size of fish, they're all intermingling in the same area or the same schools, the bigger fish tend to be more towards the bottom. Not always, but more often than not, they tend to be down lower. So bigger or heavier or deeper diving, something to get through those smaller fish faster, or just get past them and below them and get to the bigger fish at the bottom. The other flip side of that, fish tend to school by size. So if you're, and we've seen
Yeah,
this.
yeah. If you're catching a bunch of 1-pounders, get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Go to a different spot.
It's likely you're never going to catch anything bigger than what you're catching out of that school. The bigger fish may not be that far away. So sometimes it could just be a matter of like a 200-foot move, and you'll find those bigger fish. And sometimes we've also found, actually, I'd say more often than not, whatever that smaller school of fish is relating to, the bigger fish are kind of relating to the same thing with slight variations. You know, like we found at that spot for numbers, that school of all those 1 to 1.5 pounders, they were focusing on steep banks, but like kind of in a pocket between like one point and then the adjacent steep bank beside it.
Yep.
But everything was, they were like kind of just on steep banks. The bigger fish were doing the same thing, but they were more keyed on bigger boulders on those steeper banks. So like that's that subtle difference that can produce the same result or better results from the same conditions or nearly the same. So that's kind of those things.
Yeah, fishing a jig, if you're really interested in fishing a jig and getting good at it, don't have your trolling motor on high.
No.
Keep that thing almost on spot. Not everybody has spot lock, but just be very thorough on where you're fishing. Like if you're fishing a bank and you got a rock, fish all sides of the rock, top, the bottom, side to side, drag it up over the top, all over the place. You see another little rock next to it, drag it in between those two rocks, drag it to the left side of the little rock. You really got, I have literally spent an hour fishing a tree.
Yep.
One tree.
Different rock piles we've combed through like well over an hour because we'll hit it from a ton of, like Andrew said, we'll hit it from literally every conceivable angle with our go-to baits, and then we'll do it again with something wildly different, and then we'll do it a third time. Like if it's an area that we know they're going to be on this time of the year, main lake point, not too deep, and we're marking bait fish everywhere, and it's got all the makings of like a couple of big boulders and the riprap, some sand, and maybe a little vegetation. We're going to hit that from every conceivable angle 7 different times, or with 7 different presentations until we figure it out, because they're just going to be there. 9 times out of 10, they're going to bite once you figure it out. But then there's always that one time where it doesn't matter what you're going to do. It's not going to happen for that day. Jerry, you hit the nail on the head. They school by size. A lot of times, bigger ones are under them or off to the side. Sort of like high school seniors don't hang with freshmen. Spot on. That's good. Yeah, man. We've
Oh, not in Milford. They do. All the freshmen hang out with the seniors.
I'm trying to think of a specific example, like where we were doing that, where we were just like getting into the smaller fish. Oh, okay. The jerkbait day. That's actually a great example, because we started down that main point that I talked about earlier. For a good example, like literally the same thing. And I caught an okay one on spider jig early, and then I caught another okay one on the jerkbait. And then we moved up lake 500 feet to that next spawn flat, and it's a little bit bigger of a spawn flat, but literally like the contour of that point and how quickly and deep it drops off is freaking identical to the other point. And I stuck jerkbait, and I stuck a 3 3/4, and then I stuck another 3. So
just those bigger fish were in a different area.
Yep, but what that area had to offer was identical to the other spot that was holding bass too. But there was 2 totally different sizes of schools of fish for sizes. So I'm trying to think of another example. Nothing I can think of recently. But yeah, anyway, that I could go on and on. It's 10 o'clock.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
You know what? I'm happy that we covered everything from a bunch of different angles and perspectives. We answered a lot of questions. The vast majority of them I felt were on point, which is great. And there were other ones that, while necessarily weren't on point, they were still great questions that people asked, and they were great to answer. So for that, we thank you guys. I don't know, man. If you guys have any other questions, now's the time to shoot it, because at this point, I think we're just starting to reiterate a ton of points. Before anybody leaves, hit like if you haven't done that yet, please. Greatly appreciate that. Is there anything else I missed for what we want to cover? We could talk about our upcoming trip. 2 weeks from tomorrow, baby. Actually, 2 weeks from this Friday. That's how close it is.
I already asked for the days off, so.
That's my guy.
Asked.
Asked. You told.
I asked.
Oh, I will call him.
Oh, I'm going to take it off.
Guess who's going with me?
I can't miss this.
No.
I'm not going to miss it.
And you know what's funny? I still have that box right there. This is Champlain jerkbaits and swim jigs.
Yay! We're going to lose all of them.
Probably. And that's why I still have that box from last year.
Do you want to see how many jerkbaits we're going to go through?
Can you get that down without ripping everything down? All right, good luck. Anyway, we're going to Lake Champlain in 2 weeks. We're going up with my buddy Dennis. We're going to stay for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. May 13th to the 16th, we're staying up mid-lake, up near the gut. If anybody's around, you guys want to like come out, say hi?
There's a lot of different shit.
Damn right there is. I got everything on sale, buddy. I went ham. I spent like $200 on bait specifically for Champlain. Oh yeah, knowing that I'd be going back there often, and there's a lot of toothy critters like pike. So
I mean,
I bought a lot of stuff while it was on sale.
These you don't really need to see because whatever. It's empty. We got jerkbaits.
I should have brought the trash over.
Jigs. We got jigs. I mean, we got jerkbaits and jig heads and jerkbaits and jig heads and jigs.
Mop jigs. Oh, I need to order more mop jigs. Because those I went through a ton of when I was there last year.
Goddamn jerkbaits we have.
Yeah, but think about how many pike. Uh-huh. I mean, honestly, we could throw this around here right now, too. Like, that bluegill one is, like, real nice. It's like a perchy
110
bluegill.
knockoff?
Pretty much. It's the,
Oh, Rick Clun.
Yeah, I forget. You want to do one of these things for show people?
Sorry.
Lucky Strike, Rick Clun. The hell is this one? Real Perch. RCSTX-54-1. It's a dope little bait.
Oh, these are TV height ones.
These are great.
Those are cool.
Yeah, and
Mop jig by Davey Height Mop jig.
I don't think we necessarily, I don't know. My buddy Dennis is the one that told me to get all this stuff, and I smacked him around on that mop jig. But and actually, Sir Altitude, that's what I caught that bowfin on, was that mop jig. I don't know that it's entirely necessary. I bet I'd go up there with all my Beast Coast and do just fine.
Oh yeah, it's a jig.
Derek, I hope you're watching. I need jigs, please. Jerry, one of you send me your address. I'll have spear point hooks send you drop shot hooks. Tell me the size y'all use there.
2
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Why not? I have a question.
1 and 2.
Are those really thin gauge by any chance? Or are they like normal? And then if there's both, I won't say no to both. We're going back to the St. Lawrence River in July as well. I need to get some really thin gauge drop shot hooks because I do not want to drop fish left, right, and center like I did the last 2 years.
By the way, Jerry, buddy, when I come back down to Florida, we're fishing together. I'm gonna rent a car and come. We're gonna hang out.
I want to come down this time too. And actually, I'm gonna have the vacation time and not a boss that tells me no, you can't take that time because well, how am I supposed to explain to your customers why you're out for 3 Fridays?
Oh, you're my boss.
I
You
was
figure
saying,
it out.
give your balls a tug. You're a manager for a reason. Figure it out. When I was a manager, I had to tell like, that's why you manage.
Manage
Sorry.
my time wisely. You manage my time.
Right? I'm still like I'm not bitter about it, but I'm still like trying to figure that out. Like, how do you tell me?
Jesus, rolling. Well, how big is that?
That was back in March. Oh, that was 12.25, 43-pound bag. Getting ready to message you, Jerry. Anyway, they fall in between. They fall in between. They hook up like staples. Don't come out.
Okay,
Okay, good.
That.
Yep, that's what I like to hear. Thanks, buddy. Ouch. Chad. Yeah, Chad, I speak from the heart, buddy. He said, ouch. Laugh my ass off.
Oh.
Well, there's a reason why I'm not there anymore. Okay, I mean, it really had nothing to do with that. It's just found the opportunity of a lifetime that I could not pass up. Well, that's why I'm here. What are you laughing at?
You.
Oh.
For no reason.
Okay, anyway. All right, that's going to do it. Thank you all very much for watching. Greatly appreciate you all. For those that shared, again, thank you. For those that donated tonight, thank you very much. Congrats again to Mark for winning the t-shirt waffle and Guggen Slayer, who still didn't message me. Looking at you. Yeah,
Thank you.
message me. Tell me your address so I can get this thing out. If I don't get your address, you're not getting it this week. Wait till Monday. Again, thank you to our buddy David, NE Bass Addict on Instagram for donating those 2 jerkbaits. So both are gone now. We will continue to do more of these waffles pretty much every week to I'm not advertising it. So it's just, this is a reward for all of you people that keep coming out to watch us every week.
I might have a smaller swim bait to give away. A little glide.
Ooh.
I mean, smaller. I mean, it's smaller than my 250.
I got to get in touch with Derek at Beast Coast too, because we had talked about bringing Beast Coast in on like a pretty much weekly basis to kind of up the ante a little bit on the free stuff. So we'll make it happen. Otherwise, everybody, thank you. Jerry, Guggen, Jim, Little Tommy, Dan, thank you very much, sir.
Little Tommy.
Die Hard, Steve Sargent, Jason, everybody, you all have a great night. Andrew, you do your thing.
You guys come back next week, same night, same time, 8 o'clock every Wednesday at youtube.com/603bass.
Oh, will do, Jason.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.